Well, hey guys and gals, welcome back to All of Fabric 7 with Mr. Blockhead. Today is episode 10, the Modern Industrialization mod, because we spent a lot of time on that. Had like almost a double length episode last time, so... Anyway, what I want to start out doing today is just literally going around and looking for stuff. So, there's a couple things I'm really interested in finding. And that is some spawners. I think I may have figured out a way in this mod pack to deal with spawners and to get them so I can use them in like a spawning mob farm slash XP farm, because that's really the one thing that I'm kind of missing right now is the ability to get XP on demand. Apparently we can use cardboard boxes to grab spawners. Okay, before we get too carried away here, I wanted to see if this is going to work. Let's grab out our cardboard box, and... what do we do? Right-click it? Oh! Shift right-click. That does it. Okay. Shift right-click. Couldn't be simpler. Next, I want to attack a ship. Back, you scallywag! Food area. So I think this is going to be the right spot. So first we need to collect a few items in order to make the spawner chamber. I'm getting some of this to make some tinted glass. Okay, so one thing I didn't think of is, will these actually work if I have those big torches around? I might have to go to another place if this doesn't work, but let's test it and just see if we can get one too. There we go. The answer to that question is a resounding yes. Alright, so that works. Okay, let's go ahead and shut it down. Okay, so I've laid out the spawner area. So this is where the guys are going to spawn and like fall. And I'm going to put conveyor belts over this. And then in the middle here, that is where our actual spawners are going to go. So I'm actually going to... yeah, we need to stack them up so they're going to be like 3 high up, like this. 1, 2, 3, like that, and then the first spawner will actually be on top of that guy. So it's going to be kind of a tall structure, and we might have to move a tree or two, but it's going to be fine. Well, I've made, obviously, some progress here. This is the chamber in which the spawns will occur. Let's see, so basically I just decided on going with a little bit of some of the stained glass, obviously, and then some of the cobblestone, obviously. And then what's going to happen here is I have these things from this mod called Kybe that are conveyor belts. And essentially, do I have any in my inventory? Yes, I do. Let me show them to you. So essentially what they are is they're just a simple conveyor belt. And they're super nice because you don't have to power them. They're sort of self-powered, which... almost feels like cheating, but, you know, I just didn't want to set up a whole contraption with Create to make these. This right here, these sort of brown, they're actually swamp oak planks. Those things will represent the spawn little cages, the spawners themselves. This dirt right here is just a spacer, so this dirt is going to be gone. And then this whole thing is going to be covered with conveyor belts, pushing the mobs this way, and then onto here, which will convey them this direction into this little killing chamber that I've made right here that doesn't actually kill anything yet. It's going to have some of these spikes from Kybe. They're called, well, they're called spikes. They're called diamond spikes. And they act as though the player has killed the mob. And then we will collect the XP with a special thing, and also the drops with a special thing. So, should work pretty well. The other thing I did is built this chamber underneath here, which is, it actually took me a really long time because I was trying to not disturb the sand. So don't even ask me how I went around about doing that, but basically I made it in the sand little pile here. I almost took the sand pile out, but I was like, I kind of like it, so I kept it. I also built this little tunnel right here that connects up to our staircase. So that is kind of solved because I kept coming like this way, and it just seemed like a weird way for like a big bridge to come over and then go like literally nowhere. Okay, so I decided to make the XP shower and tank in the middle here. So if you haven't seen this before, this is a mod called Kibe. And in Kibe we have the ability to make a tank that should hold XP. And then these showers will allow the XP to drain out if I set up the thing right. So I'm just thinking about this for a second. I think I didn't do it right because it requires a lever, so only these 4 will actually work. Anyway, it kind of extends up above the mountain, which I think kind of looks good. Let's go into free cam. And yeah, that's going to look cool. So it kind of looks like that. Yeah, there's definitely something within this mountain. So it's not completely buried. Okay, next we have this super inconspicuous pipe here. I'm using the modern industrialization one because we have them. And I'm hoping that will work. Well, everyone, I have a pretty major update. And some good news, which is bad. Or maybe bad news, which is good. I'm not sure which. So let's start with the bad news, which might be good. The bad news is I have corrupted my world. Somehow I managed to run out of hard drive space, and apparently when you run out of hard drive space and it tries to save the world, well, it just corrupts the world. So that means that my All of Fabric 7 world that I was just playing on just literally seconds ago, in time for you, just several seconds ago, that world is no more. It is gone. It's bye-bye. However, that kind of prompted me to do something that I was thinking about doing, and that is I made my own mod pack. And the mod pack that I made has over 200 mods in it. It's kind of a kitchen sink mod. Well, I guess it is a kitchen sink mod. Kind of like All of Fabric 7, but it definitely has some different stuff. I'm not going to tell you every mod that it has because it has over 200, and honestly I can't remember all of the ones that I added. But I will tell you a couple of them as we go here. One of them is a terrain mod called Terralinth. And that terrain mod is freaking awesome. And speaking of terrain, I found a nice island on this map that I find very compelling. Another mod I installed is called World Preview, and this is how I picked the seed that we did. It's essentially like a mod that allows you to preview the world, like biomes and stuff, before you make it, but you can also use it while you're in there, while you're actually in the game. Yeah, so I sincerely hate the early game. I am now eating raw sheep. I'm just eating raw sheep to try to survive here. Okay, I finally got myself a bed. I had to steal one from this villager in the middle of the night. I feel bad, buddy, but you were gonna die if I didn't get to sleep. Okay, so here we are on our new island home, and I've made a decent amount of progress. I decided not to record it all just because, well, it's the beginning game, and you guys have seen it so many times. But some highlights: I made this little cow farm, obviously. It has the feeding trough in the middle from a mod called Simply Animal Feeding Troughs, which literally adds 1 block, which is this thing. I can put some food in there, like this wheat, for example, and the cows will go to it, and they will breed and eat the food, not in that order. Over here we have some furnaces. We have collected quite a few items because I've gone around and found several things. I also have a bit of a mine, and I made our steam mining drill, and I made, what are some other, yeah, that was the big one right there, the steam mining drill. That took a minute. And then, oh yeah, I also have installed botany pots, and that is making some wheat for us, so we don't have to do those ridiculous farms that we did in the All of Fabric 7 part of this episode, or this series, or whatever. So going into free cam, here is our island, or part of it anyway. It's a fairly large island. It's a pretty big, actually. I have plans for this mountain. I'm gonna build a castle up here. I'm gonna build a village down here, a big old village with villagers and everything. I did that kind of in the original Blockhead series that I did with Waffle Stick and eventually Etzmine, but I really kind of, that was like one of my favorite things that I built, was a big village with a castle, so I'd like to do that again. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to gather up some resources to build a house. The house I want to make will primarily become a house for villagers or whatever. but I want to kind of move into it first until we get our castle started. Okay, I've got a layout for a big old medieval house here. It's basically 2 boxes of 7 by 13 kind of merged together. And I'm trying to do a little bit of a gradient here. I really haven't worked with gradients that much, despite the fact that I am kind of a builder. Okay, I think I pulled off the gradient thing. Looks pretty good, I think. Of course, we have some deep slate down here, and then this is cobblestone, and then this is actually cobblestone up here as well. These are chipped variants called eroded cobblestone, and then we have some different chipped variants here. We've got these chipped stone bricks and these chipped things. The mod is called chipped, that's why I'm calling them chipped. And then we have rounded deep slate bricks, and we also have disordered deep slate bricks, all from chipped. And then from this mod, we have Macaw's windows that have created these sort of, they're actually called arrow slits, but they work really well for stone windows. In these little houses. So I think those look really good. And we've got 3 back here. And then this end over here is pretty blank, because eventually what I'm going to do is put some storage in here to use as my temporary storage until we get a more permanent type of storage setup. Okay, another quick progress update. I've kind of got the size of the upper floor, and I've started on a roof line there. Another quick update, I've got most of the walls filled in, and it's starting to kind of look like a building. I've gone ahead and put a floor in here. This is made from several different slabs from chipped and other mods that are all spruce variants. I think that looks pretty good. I made a kitchen here. So we've got Paladin's furniture for the chairs and the table, and that one's from Paladin's furniture. And then we also have Let's Do Candlelight, this little stove right here and sink. Then I did some barrels, and then some spruce shelves from the Clutter mod. And then this is going to be a chimney. It actually goes up, and there's a chimney on top of it. There's the chimney, and that is actually from the Clutter mod as well, and it's putting out some smoke, and I like that. You can also right-click it to turn the smoke off, which is cool. And down below, I moved all of the junk that I had out here in this little area. I moved all inside. All the chests are somewhat sorted based on item type. Also, the roof is coming along quite nicely. It just takes a lot of hay, and then to make the hay bales in order to get the stair blocks, it's going to be kind of a bit of a nightmare. So I might just use hay bales and then just kind of remove. These were temporary blocks. I could place the hay so that it looked right. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I was also thinking about maybe using bamboo. Here's some bamboo blocks to kind of give it like a gradient, but I don't like that. Okay, I've made a decision about the roof. Instead of trying to do hay bales, like the whole thing in the middle, I decided to go across with our spruce stairs here. I think this looks good. And then these things are kind of cool because they're actually hay stacks, and they kind of have a little texture that sticks out a little bit. They're a little strange because you can kind of step inside of them. They're like not like a fully solid block, almost like snow or something. You can like sink into it like a snow block or a deep snow block. I don't know, whatever it's called. But I think they look pretty cool, and they kind of sell the idea that like this is like a thatch kind of thing in between these bars. Okay, another big update. Our home is complete. It took a long time to do the roof because I had I had to wait for the wheat to grow to do all this wheat. Oh, there's a hole in the roof. Well, on the interior, we did just a little bit more. I put some bookshelves here in a fashion that will eventually give us a nice enchanting area. And I did a bed over here. So this bed is from Paladin's Furniture, and it's actually sleepable. This Paladin's Furniture mod is actually pretty cool. It has a lot of unique stuff in it. Anyway, down here, we've also got the chairs and stuff. I've finally put the chairs the way I want them. And then we just have a little grouping of chairs over here. I wasn't really sure what to do, but I've seen pictures of the interior of medieval type houses, and they're very like just a couple of chairs, a sewing area like to do wool or something, kind of Spartan-ish, or like not very much stuff in it, not like very feng shui, I guess. Just kind of like stuff randomly put in different places. Maybe it was just this particular picture I looked at. But anyway, we now have a beautiful home in which to live. And I'm very happy. There's a few details on this house that I didn't mention earlier. One of them is these little guys right here. These spruce corner trims. Look at those things. They look so good. It's basically like a stair block shape, but much more detailed. I also put these trapdoors under here from Macaw's Trapdoors. And then this stuff just really sells it as medieval. It's literally wattle and daub, which is what they use to make walls in medieval houses. So apparently it's some sort of mixture of like mud and poo, like not kidding, and like sticks and things. And they mush it all together to make this wattle stuff, and then they put it on a frame. Pretty wild. Anyway, there's also chipped spruce logs here, and these are actually chipped spruce logs too, but they're overgrown ones, so it looks like there's vines on there, but it's actually a single block. It's just the texture of the block, which I really like that. I also put these little oak flower boxes all around. These little flower boxes. I would use the spruce ones, but the oak ones just look better. So those are really cool, and that's from another furniture mod. Then we also have some shutters from Macaw's windows, and that's the majority of it. I really like the way that this turned out, and I really enjoy building with some of these modded blocks that can just really add a lot to a medieval build and make it a little bit more doable to sell the medieval look. Well, guys and gals, thank you for going on this unexpected journey with me today in this episode. I really appreciate every single person that watches my videos. Anyway, I hope you're having an amazing, awesome, beautiful, fantastic, stupendous, and all those other things day. And God bless.